leaders, who are able to understand their emotions, their triggers, their stress, their limitations, make better decisions. Sometimes I think that's the most productive thing we can do for ourselves is laugh, right? Humor gives our nervous system an opportunity to exhale. I've helped people and organizations navigate stress and burnout and just the demands of modern life. And I'm very passionate about helping people reconnect with themselves. Lourdine, Jean-Francois. Hello, everyone. Hi, Walker. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Hello, everyone. So excited to be here, popping up from in the Outbox. Of course, before we jump into our fun questions, I'd love to know, tell the people why you matter. I know why you matter, but tell the people why you matter.
I matter because I exist, okay? We all matter because we exist, okay? First and foremost. But in terms of the work that I do, I like to call myself a guide. I guide people back to themselves so that they can show up and live fully expressed in both their personal lives, but also in their professional lives. And so I do that as a licensed therapist, holistic therapist, a corporate wellness consultant, founder of Flow, co-founder of my mental health practice in Greenbelt, Maryland, Better Days Counseling. Yeah, over the years, 15 plus years, not to age myself, I've helped people and organizations navigate stress and burnout and just the demands of modern life. And I'm very passionate about helping people reconnect with themselves. Because when we are connected with ourselves, we show up fully in every area of our lives. And so that is who I am and why I matter.
I love it. We could always, I think you did it. I think this is the goal is to inspire and to bring the people in, and it's done now. I guess we can go ahead and hang up. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy Pride. Happy all things.
They say it's already done. A founder of Flow. We need that to return back to that main flow. And because work oftentimes can take us out of that flow, the factors that be, I think there's always a small ways that we kind of bring ourselves back in. And one about a little light way that we do that. What would be your go-to TV sitcom when the stress is upon us, when the times are upon us? What's that TV sitcom theme song that just hits it?
Yes. When the pressure is mounting. So I'm an 80s baby. So I grew up on Living Single and Martin and Living Color and all the things. I'm sure I should have been watching Living Color at that age. But anyway, no business, right? But I would have to say Martin every single time, because Martin, reminds me not to take life so seriously, right? As, busy professionals, aspiring entrepreneurs, leaders, right? Like the pressure, we feel the pressure, right? We want to be successful. We want our businesses to be successful, our teams to be successful. And that can become heavy over time, right? And so one of the important aspects, I think, of just navigating stress and burnout is laughter. Like just not taking yourself too seriously, and not as a form of avoidance, but medicine, because of what laughter has the ability to do. Like our physiology changes, right? When we intentionally laugh, it creates connection. And in laughter, we're reminded that we're human, right? So Martin takes me back to simpler moments in life, right, that help me reconnect to joy and to others, as we laugh together. Restore.
I love that. Restore, exactly. Talk about how our synapses can actually rework themselves when we're taking the time to breathe, laugh.
Yes.
And we don't get a chance to do that. The people, we do make a chance to do that. We do the unserious work.
Yeah, we have to make restoration a priority, for sure, because nothing is sustainable without it, without having a consistent way of restoring your energy, yourself. There's not much we can do sustainably without that.
Yeah, it reminds me of a quick story. I remember being back at the illustrious Providence College up in Rhode Island and we were on a trip to the Trinity Repertory Theater. Now, this actually relates back to Martin. So we're watching the piano lesson. It's a bunch of us, and we went as a group. And there's a scene where she's banging on the piano to call the spirits, or to invite them back into unity with the house, as opposed to being in such conflict with the home and the people and the descendants. Like, some of my classmates started laughing in that, pivotal scene, right? And at the end, we had a talk with the actors. And the actors, of course, love reaction. And there was a group there also participating, and they were like, well, the laughter, I don't understand why these kids here are laughing at this, and they're laughing. And I remember two things happened. One, artists and their wisdom said, actually, we love, as actors and as performers, we want reaction. And reaction comes in many forms.
Many forms.
And we're talking about this heavy work of release, and they were releasing. So for us, and this is fine. And the Martin piece of that was that they said the reason they laughed at the piano was because there's that famous scene where they're singing, don't you know no good? And like, they're banging on the piano, and that just hit them. And they were like, it took me back to Martin, so I started laughing. But again, like, mission accomplished. Like you said, laugh in language of the soul.
Yeah, healing for the soul. Yeah, one of my favorite ways to just restore. Yeah.
And speaking of that, how those other patrons were disturbed by the laughter of those students releasing during the piano lesson. I'm curious. They obviously thought that they were out of order when they did that. And I wonder if, for you as a leader, when you're helping guide people back to themselves, what do you think is a skill that people think is out of order, but it's actually very much in?
Yeah, I would say it's such a good question. There's so many that I could choose from. But if I had to pick one, it would be self-awareness. Self-awareness is a skill, first and foremost, which means we can build that skill. Okay, I like people to know that we can build a skill of self-awareness. But self-awareness is so important because we live in a world that is obsessed with productivity, right? Obsessed. But self-awareness is what makes productivity sustainable. So leaders, who are able to understand their emotions, their triggers, their strengths, their limitations, make better decisions, and they support people at a high level. And when individuals are supported at a high level, they perform at a high level, right? Self-awareness improves communication and relationships and adaptability and ultimately, again, performance, right? So I firmly believe that the future belongs to the leaders who can manage themselves and not just manage other people, right? So I would say the most important leadership skill in this space at this time for me would be self-awareness, right? It's the most competitive advantage, I would say, in today's workplace. It's not working harder, but it's understanding yourself better. Yeah.
Working with thoughtfulness,
absolutely, and intention, Absolutely.
For once, intention's not paving the road to a worse place.
Yeah, exactly. I think of the time that I worked for DC government. I was the leader of our transition team, the supervisor of our transition team, and we created the district's first ever Medicaid enrollment program. We even won a KFRTS award for team innovation. No one had ever done this before. We partnered with Department of Healthcare Finance and the Economic Security Administration, just a lot of collaboration. And it brought up a lot for me as it relates to leadership, right? And the strengths I had in that area, but also the limitations I had in that area when it came to maybe trying to find a way for everyone to be on the same page. That's the peacemaker in me sometimes, but having to realize that that's not always going to be the case. And sometimes conflict and dissension is actually what fuels impact and what fuels change in an organization, right? And so had I not been aware of that growth area for myself, it would have affected the way that I led my team, right? But because that awareness was there, I was able to tap into the resources that I had at my disposal to be able to show up for myself while also showing up for those I was there to support. And like I said, as a result, we won an award for our innovation of this particular program. So self-awareness, absolutely.
What?
Key. Yeah.
Not to sound too much like a Karen, but how articulate. That is the most, that's the cleanest articulation of being in that space of unifier. Like you talk about being a peacemaker, and then also connecting that to where you sometimes have to manage, or oftentimes have to manage conflict, and how in that conflict, that's where the treasure is. And you knowing that and having that self-awareness, it seems that brings out the unifier in you that gets people aligned to a world-changing accomplishment. That is huge. I worked in healthcare for a while myself. That's world-changing. I can already imagine without even hitting Google, I could definitely see where that was scaled out to serve the rest of this nation and probably so many programs around the world. That's amazing. Lord, daggone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, the program.
I needed a little moment.
Yeah. It still exists today. I left the district six years ago. It's still all along. You know, so yeah, self-awareness key to making change, impactful change. Yeah, I would say.
You kind of just mentioned it. And the next thought I had, I wanted to ask you, what defines you in your spaces of collaboration? I think unifier has come up, and that peacemaker has come up. What do you think defines you in your role that you think really pushes things forward?
Integrity. I would say my integrity defines me, and it provides the fuel to move things forward, right? Because I see myself as like I said, a guide. I'm in service of others, right? And my focus, or my way of honoring that, is by being in my integrity to the best of my ability at all times, right? Because sometimes things come up that can cause a bit of a wobble, maybe even distract you from the mission.
A little shaky, a little wobble.
A little wobble, right? Yeah. But I challenge myself to come back to the reason why I do what I do, right? And honoring that purpose, right? To the best of my ability, especially during difficult times, right? Especially during hard times, because I would say that it's in those times that it matters the most for you to really know who you are and why you're doing what you're doing, right? So I would say it is my integrity, my commitment to myself, but also to the people that I serve, the people that I support, and what I see as like the bigger picture of the work that I am here to do. And I'm a little woo-woo, and I'm a little woo-woo bag, but I do see service-based like providers, and we all are in service in one way or another, as individuals who are here to kind of move humanity forward, right? To move humanity forward and actually contribute to the elevation of the consciousness of humanity, right? And so how do we do that without integrity, right? Integrity is an essential part of that larger mission, that greater impact, right? Moving forward together.
I love that. And as someone who cannot see the questions that I'm fortunate to have in front of me, you're guiding me. What's going to save us at work and beyond? And you took us there. You just took us there. What's going to save us at work and beyond?
Yeah, human connection. Human connection is what's going to save us. I mean, technology is booming, right? Every time you turn around, every moment, it's like you turn around, there's a new AI app or another AI revolution, right? But our need for belonging never changes. Our need for community, connection does not change, right? So when people feel valued, we want to feel valued, understood, and connected. That's when we thrive, right? So if I could say the one thing that is going to save us in work and beyond, at work and beyond, is remembering our humanity, like remembering our hearts, remembering that when I look at you, I see me, right? Remembering that we are all connected. And when we are connected to ourselves and what really matters the most, we collaborate better, we innovate better, we live better, right? We're wired for connection. Literally, our nervous systems are wired for healthy connection, human connection. When we're in the space of someone who feels safe, where we feel seen, we relax, right? We're soothed in that space. And that's what allows for that creativity, that higher level thinking, all of this prefrontal cortex stuff that needs to take place in order for us to really
get those ridges working on that prefrontal cortex. That's right.
Yes, that moves our vision and our mission forward, right? So I would say human connection, because when we feel safe, when we feel seen, we thrive.
When you talk about the feeling of safety and how that opens up space for collaboration, we were doing a a workshop once about how do we go from coworker to collaborator, and one of them was the other, C word was curiosity, opposed to correction. So if we're working together, and I'm sure when you were building out Medicaid access for the world, those conversations where there are different approaches, but if I lean in with a curiosity, as opposed to, oh, you're not doing this the way I see it, what's wrong with you, or what are you doing wrong, instead of why, and oh, how did you do that, and how'd you make that choice? And you learn, the mutuality of learning is happening, and again, that person feels like a partner, and they don't feel persecuted.
Yeah, help me understand. Help me see the world from your perspective, right? Yeah, absolutely. We all have something to add, to contribute. Yeah, so help me understand.
So many gems in here. You are sprinkling gems, emptying the chest right now. My last thought, before I ask for, your parting message, I think, for us for this time, because we're going to do this again. I'm curious, as I build out this space, and I thank you, number one, for being one of the inaugural interviews for popping up out of the Outbox.
My pleasure.
And offering these things. I wonder, I was thinking about what the theme was. It's currently June, Juneteenth is around the corner. Pride Month is happening. And Pride season is in effect, despite no matter what they do. I think about, when did you know you were free? So I'd love to ask you, Lourdine, when did you know you were free?
Yeah. Wow. I love that question. Almost making me a bit emotional. Yeah, I think I'm realizing that now. Yeah, I think I'm realizing that now. I get to do work that I love to do. I get to do the work that I do at my own pace, at my own time. I get to see the impact that I have on people's lives and their businesses, while also growing alongside these humans, right? And so to me, like, freedom is the ability to be who you are, right? To live out loud, to be authentically you, and see the universe and God, goddess, however you refer to this amazing omnipotent power, see it wink at you. All the evidence around you that confirms that you are on your path, that you're not alone, you're never alone, right? And so this knowing that we're all here with a purpose, right? And even in the pain that we experience along the way, there's purpose in that too. And being able to see that purpose expand, not even what's possible for me, but what's possible for the people that I come in contact with. Like, that to me is freedom. Knowing that, like, there's a divinity here, a divine timing to all things. And I'm an active participant in that, right? And so when you see that you're a part of something much bigger, you can't help but to feel free, because you know that you're always taken care of no matter what. Yeah.
I love that feeling, knowing that we are everywhere. Like, that is amazing.
And
I'm gonna wait for that book, Lourdine. I'm waiting for that book, The Divine Wink. I'm not yours. You just said it. If I see somebody with a manuscript, stop stealing from Black women. The whole thing.
Okay, keep an eye on it.
I'm gonna keep that in my mind, and your ears are gonna itch, because I'm gonna quote you. I mean, just the way looking around for those winks, because I think that's what it means. We'll talk about all the time with universal law, or whatever we call, God, or that force in of creation. It's like that being in a line, we're hearing the whisper, right? But I like the wink. Keep your eyes up for that wink,
Yeah, because the wink is subtle. You gotta pay. You gotta look for the wink. You need to pay attention, right? Or right?
Gotta pay attention.
Yeah,
that's right.
For sure.
Oh, and any. I mean, you've given a lot. You've given a great deal. But I ask, is there anything else you want to share that, I want to lead the people with this? This time around, I want to lead the folks with this. So no pressure.
Yeah. If I were to leave, one thing I would say, just as a leader, as an individual, as a humaning, right? Be sure to have a regular, a consistent process of reconnecting with yourself, right? The world gets loud. Things, it's noisy out there, right? And I found that if you're really intentional about creating impact, whether that's on a grand stage, small stage, in your families, in your family, in your relationships, wherever that place might be for you, the key to that is having a relationship with yourself, knowing what matters to you, knowing what's important to you, being aware of the things that could potentially get in the way of you moving toward that vision, and accept them as part of the process of you moving toward what really matters to you, your vision of a fulfilling, meaningful, and impactful life. So come back to yourself time and time and time again. And when you wobble, come back to yourself time and time and time again. Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to make sure that people know where to find you and to get that kind of coaching and wisdom in person, virtually, and through all the different ways that you serve the community. We'll make sure we have that there, because that right there, that was a gift of having a regular cadence with yourself.
Yes, come back to yourself. Come back to yourself. Yeah.
I almost feel like coming find your way back, but I don't want to get too but just all the things, the music of what you're saying is speaking. Yes, all connected. Lourdine, thank you so much. The gift of joy, the chuckles, the laughs, the wobbles of it, but the wisdom that you've given today, of most first and foremost, has been something special. I thank you so much.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, and all the best to you and everything you will continue to do, Walker. Thank you.
Thank you for helping me lean in to what matters to us. Thank you for that.
It's actually part of my flow method, actually. Lean into courage and curiosity. So yeah, you're doing it.
Courage and curiosity. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, we are too aligned on that. We're greatly aligned. I won't say too aligned. Never can be too aligned.
No such thing.
No such thing, but literally, was just talking about this, that curiosity piece and the freedom that comes from that, and how just the reset that comes from being curious, asking the question,
the willingness, the
condemning. That's the question to lean in.
Yeah, the creativity comes from the curiosity. That's the thing, right? If we're not willing to get curious, and then do we really want to create, right? So
we
yeah,
doing.
We got all that shit done. Like, what's going on?
Who said that? Who didn't say that? Somebody should have said that. You know what?